Every person who ever changed their life had one thing in common. It wasn't talent, it wasn't luck, it wasn't even intelligence. It was the ability to move when they felt absolutely nothing. Motivation is a lie they sold you, a feeling, a rush, a spark that dies by Tuesday. But discipline? Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline shows up at 5 a.m. when you're exhausted. Discipline works when nobody is watching. Discipline builds empires out of ordinary days. And the Stoics understood this 2,000 years ago, before self-help became a billion-dollar industry, before motivational speakers filled stadiums, before anyone was selling you a shortcut. They had one rule, and that rule is what separates the men who talk from the men who build. Stay with me. Marcus Aurelius woke up every single morning as the most powerful man on earth. He commanded armies, he ruled an empire, and every single morning he had to convince himself to get out of bed. He wrote about it in his journal, words that were never meant to be published, never meant to be read by anyone but himself. He wrote, "At dawn when you rise reluctantly, let this thought be present. I am rising to the work of a human being." Not a feeling, not inspiration, a decision. That is the entire secret, right there, in one sentence written 2,000 years ago. We live in a world obsessed with motivation. YouTube channels selling you energy, Instagram pages flooding your feed with quotes, podcasts telling you to find your why. And none of it works. Not because the people sharing it are lying, but because motivation was never the answer. Here is what motivation actually is. It is an emotion, and emotions are the most unreliable fuel source a human being can run on. You feel motivated on Sunday night, planning your week, setting your alarm for 5 a.m., writing your goals, ready to change everything. Monday morning, that alarm goes off, and the motivation? Gone. Because motivation needs the right conditions. It needs you to feel ready. It needs the circumstances to be perfect. It needs you to be in the mood. Discipline needs nothing. Discipline is what a soldier does when he is terrified. Discipline is what a father does when he is broken. Discipline is what every great man in history did on the days they had absolutely nothing left. Epictetus said something that most people skip past. He said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Think about what that actually means. If your actions are controlled by how you feel, you are not free. You are a slave to your own emotions. Every day you don't feel like it and you quit, you are building a prison around yourself, brick by brick. But every day you don't feel like it and you do it anyway, you are building something else entirely. The Stoics called it virtus. The Romans called it strength of character. We call it discipline. And it is built the same way every single time. One decision at a time. One morning at a time. One ordinary day that nobody will ever clap for at a time. There is a moment that every disciplined person knows. It comes right before you quit. Right before you put the phone down and go to sleep early. Right before you skip the gym. Right before you tell yourself tomorrow. It is a split second. And in that split second, everything is decided. The motivated man waits for the feeling to return. The disciplined man moves through the split second and does it anyway. That is the entire difference. Not talent, not circumstances, not resources. One decision made over and over again until it becomes who you are. Marcus Aurelius didn't wake up disciplined. He practiced it every single morning, against every feeling that told him to rest, against every comfort that told him he had earned it, against every voice in his head that sounded exactly like the voice in yours. The question is not whether you feel like it. The question is who you are choosing to become. Motivation will visit you sometimes. Enjoy it when it comes, but never build your life on something that leaves without saying goodbye. Build on discipline. Build on the decision. Build on the ordinary days that nobody sees and nobody celebrates. That is where greatness lives. Not in the highlight, not in the breakthrough moment. In the Tuesday morning when everything in you said stop and you kept going anyway. This is Stoic Rules, and this is just the beginning.